Melange. Melange. Also, melange. N.S. Origin uncertain. Thought to derive from ancient Terran frange. A. Mixture of spices. B. Spice of Arrakis. Dune. With geriatric properties first noted by Yanshup Ashkoko, royal chemist in reign of Shakad the Wise. Arakeen melange found only in deepest desert sands of Arrakis. Linked to prophetic visions of Paul Muad'Dib, Atreides. First Fremen Mahdi. Also employed by Spacing Guild navigators and the Bene Gesserit. Dictionary Royal, 5th edition. The two big cats came over the rocky ridge in the dawn light, loping easily. They were not really into the passionate hunt as yet, merely looking over their territory. They were called Laza tigers, a special breed brought here to the planet Seleucia Secundus almost 8,000 years past. Genetic manipulation of the ancient Terran stock had erased some of the original tiger features and refined other elements. The fangs remained long. Their faces were wide, eyes alert and intelligent. The paws were enlarged to give them support on uneven terrain, and their sheathed claws could extend some 10 centimeters, sharpened at the ends into razor tips by abrasive compression of the sheath. Their coats were a flat and even tan, which made them almost invisible against sand. They differed in another way from their ancestors. Servo stimulators had been implanted in their brains whilst they were cubs. The stimulators made them pawns of whoever possessed the transmitter. It was cold, and as the cats paused to scan the terrain, their breath made fog in the air. Around them lay a region of Seleucia Secundus left sere and barren, a place which harbored a scant few sand trout smuggled from Arrakis, and kept precariously alive in the dream that the melange monopoly might be broken. Where the cats stood, the landscape was marked by tan rocks and a scattering of sparse bushes, silvery green in the long shadows of the morning sun. With only the slightest movement, the cats grew suddenly alert. Their eyes turned slowly left, their heads turned. Far down in the scarred land, two children struggled up a dry wash, hand in hand. The children appeared to be of an age, perhaps 9 or 10 standard years. They were red-haired and wore stillsuits partly covered by rich white burqas, which bore all around them the hem and at the forehead the hawk crest of the House Atreides, which worked in flame-jewel threads. As they walked, the children chattered happily, and their voices carried clearly to the hunting cats. The Laza tigers knew this game. They had played it before, but they remained questioned, awaiting the triggering of the chase signal in their servo-stimulators. Now a man appeared on the ridgetop behind the cats. He stopped and surveyed the scene, cats and children. The man wore a Sardaukar working uniform in gray and black, with insignia of a Levenbrech, aide to a Bashar. A harness passed behind his neck and his underarms to carry the servo transmitter in a thin package against his chest, where the keys could be reached easily by either hand. The cats did not turn at his approach. They knew this man by sound and smell. He scrambled down to stop 2 paces from the cats, mopped his forehead. The air was cold, but this was hot work. Again his pale eyes surveyed the scene. Cats. Children. He pushed a damp strand of blonde hair back under his black working helmet, touched the implanted microphone in his throat. The cats have them in sight. The answering voice came to him through receivers implanted behind each ear. We see them. This time? The Levenbrech asked. Will they do it without chase command? The voice countered. They're ready, the Levenbrech said. Very well. Let us see if 4 conditioning sessions will be enough. Tell me when you're ready. Any time. Now then, the Levenbrech said. He touched a red key on the right-hand side of his servo transmitter, first releasing a bar which shielded the key. Now the cat stood without any transmitted restraints. He held his hand over a black key below the red one, ready to stop the animals should they turn on him. But they took no notice of him, crouched and began working their way down the ridge toward the children. Their great paws slid out in smooth gliding motions. The Levenbrech squatted to observe, knowing that somewhere around him a hidden transeye carried this entire scene to a secret monitor within the keep, where his prince lived. Presently the cats began to lope, then to run. The children, intent on climbing through the rocky terrain, still had not seen their peril. One of them laughed, a high and piping sound in the clear air. The other child stumbled, and recovering balance turned and saw the cats. The child pointed. Look! Both children stopped and stared at the interesting intrusion into their lives. They were still standing when the Laza tigers hit them, 1 cat to each child. The children died with casual abruptness, necks broken swiftly. The cats began to feed. Shall I recall them? The Levenbrech asked. Let them finish. They did well. I knew they would. This pair is superb. Best I've ever seen. The Levenbrech agreed. Very good, then. Transport is being sent for you. We'll sign off now. De Levenbrecht stood and stretched. He refrained from looking directly off to the high ground on his left, where a telltale glitter had revealed the location of the transeye, which had relayed his fine performance to his Bashar far away in the green lens of the capital. De Levenbrecht smiled. There would be a promotion for this day's work. Already he could feel a Bator's insignia at his neck. And someday, Bursik. Even one day, Bashar. People who served well in the corps of Farad'n, grandson of the late Shaddam IV, earned rich promotions. One day when the prince was seated on his rightful throne, there would be even greater promotions. A Bashar's rank might not be the end of it. There were baronies and earldoms to be had on the many worlds of this realm, once the twin Atreides were removed.